Happy Easter. Got ham steak,
She's a
fried up
prisoner in her own body,
potatoes,
unable to breathe on her own without needing oxygen. Gone
corn.
are the days where she'd be self-sufficient, as Joyce now has a
Hope you're
living
all
carer,
having a
Dawn,
good
who's actually
day.
one of Joyce's friends, but is now on the payroll.
Dawn. Dawn. Morning. Morning. You ready to get up? I am. Dawn lives with me and takes care of me, and without
You know
her,
I have to
things would
chew
be
with
even
my
worse.
front teeth
Because I
right
can't
now
even get
because
out
I'm
of bed on
waiting
my
for my
own. That's how
permanent
bad off my
crowns.
body is now.
And
And
my
then once
crown
I'm up,
prep for
I'm
this
barely
one
even able
is
to go
on
a few feet
Thursday.
at
Then
one
I have to
time.
wait
My
for
weight's too
both
much for me to move around.
permanent
Joyce can't
crowns
walk
to
more than
come.
1 or 2 steps, if you'd even call that walking. So she has to take care of all of her personal hygiene needs directly next to her bed.
So I have to do everything right here in the same
So
room,
what did you
including
do
going to the
today?
bathroom. So I have a portable potty chair that's next to my bed. And when I'm done, Dawn has to clean me up. And that's probably the most humiliating part of my day. Okay.
She also has awful lymphedema, so she has lots of excess fat that just hangs between her legs. Dawn has to make sure this is constantly clean, otherwise it's at risk of becoming infected.
It's ready. I'm gonna go ahead and stand up and go on over. Okay. I'm gonna hold this up. Yep. What I do for Joyce is get her out of bed in the morning, help her go to the bathroom, and then I bathe Joyce probably 2 to 3 times a week. It's a very long process, and by the end of it, Joyce and I are both exhausted. Bathing me is a very extensive process because of how hard it is to get to all the areas of my body. We wash the lower part of my stomach and underneath it in my bed. But once she's done, she has to use a hair dryer to dry those areas. Because if any moisture gets caught under a fold, it'll get trapped there and mold causes sores that will get infected. But Dawn also has to rub a zinc oxide cream on me to help prevent sores. Because without
I
it,
cut
the
it
natural
out
shaping I
smaller
have
since I
under my
have to
folds
chew
can
up
start to
here.
break the skin over time. And I'm concerned about the sores because that's one of the things that has put me in the hospital before.
Now, not to be too mean, but Joyce literally looks like she's melting when she's laid out on her bed, as her skin just falls around her. You can't even make out body parts, just literally just one lump of fat. Because Joyce needs to be cleaned and dried, the entire process takes over 1 hour, and by the end of it, both Joyce and Dawn are absolutely exhausted. But because it tired her out so much, Joyce always needs a treat afterwards, and Dawn gets her exactly what she wants.
And Dawn knows I'll be starving at that point, so she always has something ready for me to eat. I get so excited that I finally get to eat. It's the moment I've been looking forward to since I finished my last meal the night before. That first bite is the best moment of my day. When I'm eating, I think nothing. That's what the best part of it is when I'm sitting there eating, I have no worries about anything. I'm just thinking about how good the food is. And that's my life. I'll sit there in my recliner for the rest of the day, and Don will bring me food and I'll eat it until it's time to go back to bed. I basically just live to eat now, and I never leave this room. And that's not going to change unless I give up food and stop eating like this. But I can't. It's what makes waking up worth it for me now.
Her breakfast consists of 5 takeout boxes of breakfast food, which contains bacon, eggs, toast, and what looks like cinnamon rolls. And she's eaten enough food to feed an entire family in one sitting. Joyce didn't always have this obsession with food, as when she was really young, she was actually a normal size. After her mother married another man, she was sent to live with her grandma, and this was where she started to develop an unhealthy relationship with food. As when she was around 6 or 7, her grandma really started to overfeed her. I think she was doing this as a way of showing affection, but she didn't understand that she was actually feeding her granddaughter just way too much food. When Joyce's mother brought her back into the family home, she couldn't believe how much weight she'd gained.
When Joyce was living with my mother, I had no idea my mother was feeding her so much. And when I saw Joyce as large as she was, I was just horrified, and I was really angry at my mother that she had allowed my daughter to gain that much weight.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, that Joyce's mother actually looks like it could be her daughter. Their roles could be reversed, and honestly, it would be completely believable, which is why people also think that Joyce is lying about her weight. Her mother tried to put Joyce on multiple diets, worried that if her daughter didn't lose the weight now, she would continue to put on weight into adulthood. But despite the diets, Joyce found ways to sneak food behind her mother's back and continued gaining instead of losing. It was the only thing she had to comfort her, and she didn't want to let it go. At 16, Joyce got a car and a job at a local fast food restaurant, which meant that she had unlimited access to whatever food she wanted. And when the weight started piling on more rapidly, Joyce's mother was furious, begging Joyce to stop, even trying to get her to quit her job so she would stop eating. But she was unsuccessful, and Joyce kept gaining until she was over 350 pounds by the time she was 18, even gaining another 100 pounds by 20. With the death of her dad a few years later, Joyce just couldn't handle the stress and kept gaining until she was over 500 At this time, she had a daycare business, but because she couldn't move around much, it wasn't actually safe for her to be looking after small children anymore, so she had to close it.
I haven't been out of the house in over 3 years. I'm already 44, and I'm the age now that my dad was when he died. And I think I'm even bigger than he was at this age. So I'm terrified that I'm close to dying right now, and that I'm gonna die before my time because I let food kill me.
With so many years of trying to get Joyce to change, and she just doesn't, her mother and Dawn have pretty much just given up on trying to feed Joyce healthier foods. Instead, they've just given in and give her whatever she wants.
I know my family and Dawn are all worried about me too, and they don't think I'm gonna make it much longer. But just like me, they keep doing what they've been doing and help me eat the stuff I'm not supposed to have now. And I know when I do that, my mom's judging me when I eat a lot. But as much as it bothers me, there's part of me where I don't care. I almost kind of have the attitude of like, duh, I don't get this big eating small amounts. So why would you expect me to do so? So I just want to say, shut up and give me the food and then leave if you have a problem with it.
Sometimes when I see Joyce eating large amounts of food, I'm livid. I'm just livid. But I'm really always really fearful. I live in a lot of fear. Because I just feel that she's gonna die, and that there's nothing I could do about it.
For dinner, Joyce has basically an entire tray of lasagna, and on top of that, she has several slices of garlic bread and some fried chicken too. And I actually think that's fried chicken. I'm not actually sure. I'm just guessing. Most of the food the stars eat on the show is some fried beige substance, and Joyce is no different. This meal is definitely probably over 3,500 calories, if not more, which is more than the average woman is supposed to eat an entire day. And the irony is, when the cameras pan over to Dawn and her mother, their portions are absolutely tiny in comparison. They literally look like they haven't whatever they can scrape from the side of the pan after they've served Joyce's portion. But the reality of all these years of overeating have had an effect on Joyce, and she decides to make a change and turn her life around by seeing Dr. Now. And the only problem is, with him being in Houston, she needs to make her way down there for at least a year while she completes the weight loss program. Dawn is happy to move to Houston with Joyce, but some people think that this is a little bit disturbing.
But Dawn is willing to be down there with me for as long as I need to help me and take
You
care
could
of
have
me. And
easily
she's
lost
also packing
40
up all her
pounds,
stuff
did
and
you
trying
not?
to get everything taken care of so we can be free and clear to move down. So poor Dawn is doing pretty much all of the work.
I am preparing to get Joyce and I moved down to Houston. Joyce hasn't been able to physically help me back, so it's been hard, but it is Joyce's last chance to get the help she needs. And if there's anything that I can do for Joyce to get better, I'm going to do it.
Fans of the show questions Dawn's intentions. Like, doesn't she have her own life? Why is she so happy to drop everything and move down with Joyce? Some people even speculate that they were in a relationship. Dawn and Joyce are definitely in a relationship. No way a caretaker full fists in those roles to help out without any gloves. I took it for granted that Joyce and Dawn were lovers. I don't know why, but I did. There must be some truth in this, as I don't see how anyone be a living caretaker for someone and be willing to move across the country just to look after them unless they were in some kind of relationship. Travelling across the country is always dangerous for people who are this fat, as due to the lack of circulation from sitting in one place for too long could lead to a blood clot, leading to a fatal pulmonary embolism. Because of the risk, Dr. Now has arranged medical transport for Joyce, who will drive 12 hours without stopping.
It's about a 12-hour trip to Houston, and I'm afraid I'm going to be in pain for the entire trip. And then I'm really worried that they're going to have a hard time getting me in the transport. It's bad weather, and if they're not going to be able to get me in the vehicle, then I'm going to be out in the elements, and that's making me very nervous. And I just have to trust this is going to be worth it.
When the crew arrives at 5 a.m, it takes 4 people to help Joyce onto the hospital bed and into the medical van for transport.
You want to come over towards me some more? There you go. Sit straight back.
Can you just get your butt as far back as you can?
This is it, because I have a lymphedema.
That's all right. You're gonna get your legs. We're gonna swing them over. I'm gonna try and support your back.
I got this.
There we go. Okay, we ready? 1, 2, 3. I got you. Hold on to me. Hold on to me.
Slow and easy.
Here. Got my arm? There you go. All right. All right. Right.
So
I don't
freaking
feel
good.
balanced.
Don't worry, just take deep breaths.
We got you.
Deep breaths.
We got you.
This is so much scarier than I was even imagining. And I'm just terrified that this isn't going to work and something is going to go wrong.
Slow, 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 slow. Don't push.
We're not. Hold on.
Can someone hold my hand? Another person?
To Despite a lot of complaining, she makes it there in one